So here we are. These strange statues, apparently we have to find something to put in them. What's this loot here? Okay. You guys can have your bottle of oil and plate, I don't need that, but... yeah, let's get out of here. Come back later, I guess. Defensively, maybe this time. Self. Others, that's what you want. Together. Thank you. How does that do so little damage? I don't get that. All about the argument. Slightly better that time. Corpse tired and Scout's Gate bearing him when the Crusade was leading that squad. He battled on until he ran out of bullets. As we tried to conceal his crossbow from his own body, even when the soldiers would hack up his limbs. That is a nice crossbow, I admit. I can understand if I tried to hide it.
We will win this war.
Adventures await.
Together, we stand.
Who is it? Oh, it's one of those dudes.
Anything new?
I got a fox lady that can take care of you.
Are we ready to move out?
We won't fall here.
Okay, it wasn't where you're supposed to cast that.
You're irrelevant.
This is my path. I'll make my own
You
lesson.
see that piece of
No
paper
reason
there?
to pause.
Note written in neat handwriting. Come to my camp if you want to talk. I have much to share with you. A friend. On the back was a map with cross lines marking a spot. I always trust notes I find written in abandoned camps. Great bracelet. I'll take it. What the hell?
Let us be off.
It's way up there. I'm gonna go see what's happening in Chili Creek first, though. My characters are fatigued. Batida. We're on our way to camp, guys. Don't worry. Dead end? Ooh.
Do not fear. Do not waver.
Wolf Stalker and Plague Wolf. Plagued Horse! Guess when you thought it couldn't get any worse, huh?
The light take you! I'll cut you wide open!
You're going suspiciously well. We like took no damage there. What's up with that? Turned those horses into glue, didn't we? Should we rest? Probably somewhere to rest in the village. Common sense dictates.
Let's move.
Oh. Small doll made of grass is tied to a tree. They're blue. What does that signify? 3 dolls hanging branches. Grass seaweed bodies are slowly rotting away. Okay, those are the Halloween decorations. Urgna walks thoughtfully around the grove. He pauses in front of a few trees, lingering there for some time. Seems to be examining something carefully. At the sound of your footsteps, he turns around abruptly, but the anxious expression on his face quickly gives way to an amiable smile. Commander, it's so good to see you. It seems you've found time to visit our quiet backwater after all. So you were frightened by my arrival? Oh no, you startled me, that's all. It's my overactive imagination. I still can't get used to living in such a small village. The town where I grew up was a good deal larger, and it was located near a trade route, so there were always lots of new faces and plenty of people bustling around. Here, though, it's different. The moment you step outside the village, you're all alone. You can walk for miles in any direction, with only the birds and animals for company. This is, of course, the way Aerosol teaches us to live, but truth is told, it still makes me feel somewhat uncomfortable. Why are you looking at the trees? See for yourself. Points to one of the branches, and among the leaves you notice a small doll made of grass and seaweed tied with a blue ribbon. I keep finding them here in the grove. I think it's some kind of local ritual. I've asked the villagers to tell me what it means, but they won't give me an answer. Just don't understand the reason for all this secrecy. Do the locals think of Aristotle? They're indifferent. They are pragmatic people, you know. They don't have time for theology. If old Deadeye helps them survive, That's good enough for them. You know, some priests get overzealous with sermons. They demand that people pray, observe all rituals, make sacrifices, and then those priests, all holy and pious, are surprised when locals kick them out of the village right into the nearest ditch. I was taught differently. First, you have to prove your worth. You have to show them why you and your deity are useful. It's only after they begin to trust you and start asking questions about your faith that you can readily share your beliefs. Then you can tell them all about old Deadeye and his teachings. Good old Deadeye, he knows what's up. So quiet here, isn't it? I understand. My time in Kennebrus gave me a small taste of war. I only had enough lived through it for a few days, but I know the horrors I witnessed will haunt my nightmares for years to come. I cannot imagine how hard it is for those like yourself, soldiers who have given their lives to the cause. You have chosen to fight there in order to protect our peaceful and quiet life here. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Show me around, give me the tour. Of course, let's go. You'll get to meet the locals, see how we live. I believe we managed to get some peace and quiet, temporary respite from the hardships of war. You just gonna follow us? Got a Hydra? What?
The spirits demand your blood!
We should move.
Save the last one for me.
Well, they should mess with us. A man with green eyes, the broad shoulders of a swimmer, and the callous hands of a fisherman who shakes his fist at the beast's motionless carcass. Plankton's got 'em all worked up. That's the second time they've crawled out this month. So let 'em come. A woman, the same cries the same shade of green as the fisherman, smiles at you. It's not the first time and won't be the last. But what's it matter? They can't hurt us, and we can use their hides to make a lot of waterproof coats and cloaks. Marquille, Melissa, I'd like you to introduce you to someone. This is Durden, the commander of the crusade. He's the one I told you about. Ah, a real hero in our little backwater. It's so nice of you to drop by. We never had anyone important come visit. Heroic acts are important, but sometimes it's good to leave the front lines, talk to ordinary people living ordinary lives. Anyway, welcome to Chili Creek. Hydra's usually a lot more dangerous. He's in full strength. I can tell you have an eye for such things. Well, of course he does. He's commander of the crusade. He's probably could have told you all that with his eyes shut. It's all thanks to our mother, Icy Rill. She takes care of her children and won't let anyone hurt them. She fills her nets with fish and drives away the monsters. That's right. If she doesn't drive the beasts away, she'll weaken them so we can kill them and harvest their hides. Who's Icy Rill? She's right here. Do you think this was the Sullen? No, it'd take you half a day's rowing before you reach that river. It's big, to be sure, so very important, and Sullen flows through at least a dozen countries. But where would the great Sullen be if it wasn't fed by thousands little streams and creeks, such as our dear icy rill. People of Chili Creek hold the river in great reverence. The priest's observation is matter of fact, but his voice sounds strained. How can we not? Our whole lives are built around the river, and the wedding wreath we send down its stream to the funeral boat that floats away on the waters when the time comes. Our mother, Icy Rill, feeds us, gives us water, protects us. The gods are far away, but our Icy Rill is right here, so we treat her with respect. Guys related? Right you are. She's my little sister, takes after her granny, may her memory never fade. She was always restless, couldn't sit still, and Melissa is just the same, she's always up to something. And you took after her grandpa and made the river silt be his feather bed. You're as brave as he was and just as stubborn. You're in charge here? Well, how should I put this? Our village is too small for anyone to be in charge. We just happen to know a thing or two about using a weapon. So if some nasty creature comes crawling out of the river, we can give the orders. But when it comes to fishing or fixing nets, we'll be the ones following orders. We're not an army, and there are no officers here. We all live together, solve our problems together, and serve the icy world together. I'm getting Wickerman vibes from these guys. Although, truth be told, it's only been the last few years that people have really started listening to us. Before that, villagers kept to themselves, and no one wanted to go poking their nose into anyone else's business. But we, the first, came with the idea to start trading in the river, and other villagers suddenly dug in their heels. But after money and goods began to flow into the village, they changed their minds. Yes, the village has been growing. We're seeing all sorts of things we had only ever heard about before. The year before last, we had a fair, and the people came all the way from Kennebrest to attend. Then a priest came. We'd never seen one of those before these parts, and now, we would have thought, the commander of the crusade had decided to pay us a visit. So what's up with those grass stalls? Shadow passes over Muckle's face and looks away. Nothing really much to tell, really. An old local custom. It's just a ritual. Always has a low voice, no one seems willing to share the details. How is life in the village? Not much has changed. He's a good lad. He does some healing, but never bothers us with sermons. Why, he's even learning to fish in his spare time. There's a lot of songs when he sings that make you sit and listen. Have you been attacked by demons? No, we've never seen any. Our mother, Icy Rill, keeps us safe. She would never let such abominations get near us. I gotta go. Back to front. Can't even imagine the nightmare creatures you have to fight there. Safe journey and a swift victory. Is that it? Hide your eyes. Hide your eyes from the Hydra eyes. Mutated fish.
I hope you appreciate this.
Oppressor's gloves. Persuasion skill. I do like the sound of that. This is the way we live out here. We're not wealthy, but things are at least relatively quiet. Crusaders are near the world wound. Often experience nightmares when they sleep. Do you have any trouble with nightmares here? No trouble with nightmares. The village is located in the outskirts of the world wound. So that's why. But these still got more to say. Commander's here. Welcome back. Stay as long as you'd like. How are things going? You know what happens in the village. I'm sure you have a lot going on, and stuff is always happening in the cities, on the front lines, but things are pretty quiet out here. But let's see, what's the latest news from our little village? Well, we went fishing, caught some ruffle. They were big, too, nice and plump, fat as piglets. I tell you, what else? Weevils! We have eaten through our carrots, they gobbled up everything, down to the last stalk. Then the other day, old Bragg went to fix his roof, and took a hard fall. If it hadn't been for Journal and his prayers, he'd have kicked the bucket by now. No doubt about that. You must think it's ridiculous to call any of this news. Also, Journal is downright wonderful. I don't know, maybe his prayers are working, or maybe he just has a lucky touch, but whenever he blesses me, I always catch a boatload of fish. And he sings like an... Enough already. Journal this, Journal that. That's all you're talking about. Yeah, we just marry him. Worship other deities here? Faith, religions, deities. With all due respect to Jerdna, no one here has time for such things. Maybe people in the city can go around saying prayers and listening to sermons, but in a backwater place like this, we're doing what we can to survive. There's only one provider and protector for us, our mother, Icy Rill. Yeah, the river doesn't care about prayers or sacrifices, and if Rill wants something in exchange for her help, she just takes it without asking. Ominous. Any nightmares? I would show you, but if I'm honest, I still be a dead man, not even playing it. You guys are hiding something.
Tire of waiting.
Aha. Oh. Mega Oceros? So like a prehistoric deer or something?
They will break against
You
our
are today's
resolve.
sacrifice!
Corrupted, delicious corrupted ham meat. I'll take the pills, yeah, sure. Meteor dust, eh?
Onwards. Let us be off.
Where are we going here? Blood vial.
I won't let you hurt my
You've
friends.
crossed the wrong mongrel.
Got ourselves an alpha here, folks. See, you want these range guys to get in the back. This is how this works. Icy Rill did not protect me from those wolves. No, sir.
This war must end.
Esme, Aksa, yes.
Yet another obstacle.
Well. Tough customers in there, I tell you.
Forwards!
I'm wounded.
I won't give up!
You won't survive me.
Can we rest, please? I'm tired.
Jordan
I will
is
help where I can.
I stand ready.
Trust in.
here. 40% chance of making a salad. How hard is it to make a salad? I mean, really, people, come on now. Absorbing your research. You're also well versed in vivisection. Naturally, Rich Girl, very soon I'll be starting new absorbing projects in the field. The practical excision of carnivorous ooze. You can be of assistance. You can serve as a bait to catch the ooze and hold it in place while I work. How do you hold ooze?
What's the alcohol situation underground? Do you have anything to drown your sorrows in?
You bet. Mold brew is a gourmet's dream. And tourists from Absalom used to come to us for our mushroom infusion.
Leper Smile. With a name like that, how can I refuse? Danger and distress rest heavy upon the scales, their measures soaring on the perilous march to Dresden. The army moves steadily along the bank of the West Selland, scarred with canyons and ravines. Suddenly, a group of scouts returns, and Evia, the leader of the group, makes 2 urgent signs to the soldiers. Wait! Quiet! She dashes through the ranks with the commander who awaits her. We're in trouble, she whispers. The roadhead is split by a canyon. To get to Dresden, we'll have to go down, then up the other side, but the canyon is swarming with foul creatures. Vescivores, a real pain in the neck. They won't shy away from our soldiers' weapons. They've already managed to gobble some up. Look like a caravan of refugees from Kennebrest lost its way. No one has ever reported Vescivores so far from the center of the world wound. Where did they come from? Nivea bites her lip. They still haven't noticed us, but that won't hold true for long. Maybe if we retreat quietly. What else do we know about the enemy? Those nasty little critters, they can ruin your gear and drive you nuts with their buzzing. Evia says in a rush. They get a queen, the mother of the whole swarm. She's a right whore, but if we kill her, the bulk of the swarm will scatter, and we'll take care of the rest of them somehow. During her scout report, Commander appears to convene a council to determine the plan of action. Commander and his companions convene a field council. The army cannot march around the obstacle, for there is no other road. Retreat is far too risky. Should the swarm notice the army and catch it out in the open, no one would survive. None utters the word trap, but fear hangs in the air. A swarm of omnivorous beasts just happens to be the army's path. Someone has arranged for their own nefarious ends. Rustling, grating, squeaking, humming, everyone hears the voice of the swarm through the sky before the army remains clear. For now. How long until it is darkened by the flying spawn of the abyss? An idea, a decision, straight and sharp like a soldier's sword, appears in their minds. The Crusader Council grows grim. One unit must act as live bait to lure the swarm out of the canyon and clear the path to the Vescivore Queen. The commander will rush the monster, killing her quickly. Before the swarm decimates the army, they will get but one chance. A dark question looms. Who will lead the fateful squad? Be consumed as bait. In a moment of extreme stress, one often says one thing while meaning quite another. Those hidden words often reveal many a curious thing. And what do we see here? Irabeth nobly states, I'm an officer best suited for the mission. Patricia means I cannot burden another with my responsibility. Durden, send me! Nura, the historian, emerges an unexpected suggestion for the commander's back. This is just the sort of situation where ingenuity and knowledge of the enemy are more useful than swords and armor. While she speaks, she thinks, I need to prove myself. The queen has yet to disclose her presence and watches quietly from distance. I think Nura knows what to do. Commander and his party disappear among the rocks, preparing to slip down into the canyon, while the swarm is distracted by their bait. A tight-lipped Anivia shows the way. Behind them, the final preparations are being made. Here's what we'll do, Nera instructs the soldiers. We'll approach the precipice, stomping and banging our swords against our shields. We'll get the swarm's attention as quickly as possible. Passion burns in her eyes and her lips curve into a smile of satisfaction. The soldiers tread fearfully down the road toward the dark edge of the canyon ahead. The rift that yawns before them whispers, rasps, rattles, and thousands upon thousands of voices. Vescivores gather below, but the sky is open above them, and the flying creatures might rise up and attack at any moment. The soldiers soon find the first body, the mangled corpse of a refugee from Kennebrest. A few straggling Vescivores wriggle over inside the dead man's gaping chest, tiny larvae and greenish shells, all shuffling their legs and hinging jaws. They don't seem menacing at all. But then the rasping noise stops for a moment, and a high vibrating note pierces the air with a new force. A blur of blackish-green cloud rises above the canyon. The swarm has taken the bait. The time to act has come. The leader of this fateful squad shows that they shall scatter. The rasping, mumbling, buzzing of the swarm paralyzed the soldiers' will. Poisonous mandibles cut through their armor and bone. The swarm could scour entire army city from the face of Golarion. These modest forces present no obstacle. No matter what strategy the mortals choose, it's impossible to resist the eternal hunger of the abyss. Vescivores are the embodiment, no malevolent mind or terrible monster, but a million half-sentient creatures who know no goal but destruction, an effective weapon for those prepared to trade fertile soil for wasteland. A chance yet remains for the commander to save his people, at least some portion. What will the leaders decide? I don't even need a logbook here, boy.
I need to recover my strength.
Spots of light and shadow dance along the walls of the canyon. High above your head, a swarm gathers, dark as a rain cloud. There are so many Vescivores that they block out the sun. Luckily, you've escaped the attention of the swarm, which is focused upon the troops you're using as bait, for now at least. With a tired gesture, Anivia wipes the sweat and dust from her forehead. There's anxiety in her eyes. Commander, the beast we've come for is on the other end of the main corridor. There's a lot of burrows and plenty of beasts in them. But you'd better not delve too deep, or people won't hold out long enough for us to clear the whole area. On the other hand, I saw bodies of some poor carabineers down on the other side holes. They have some valuable stuff on them. The bugs will eat anything we don't grab. They can't tell the difference between flesh and steel. Know where they came from? Not sure, but there are clear signs of a ritual close to the Queen Bug's lair. And they're fresh. Maybe somebody summoned that scum specially for us. The demon filth figured out that we're never going to let Kennebrus go. Too bad we don't have magic specialists who could figure out what those runes mean. What? I'm a specialist. I'll get to the bottom of this. What happened? I'm useful about the monster. I've fought these before, so I don't know much. She's a nasty beast. She spits acid and summons her spawn from all around the area. More thing, when I tried to get closer, I started feeling sick as a dog. Just like a demon, she knows how to get inside your head. Oh great, the huge, hungry, head-spinning, acid-spitting bugs. And I thought crusades were all about pretty armor and tasty rations. Sometimes saving beautiful maidens in white dresses from dumb demons. Oh, how interesting. Sounds like a Vescivore queen, an exceedingly rare creature, I must say. Looking forward to an encounter to conduct the experiment. The world must know what is more dangerous, mandibles snapping shut in one's hand, or acid eating away at one's skin. Sometimes wonder how you're still alive. Yeah, really. Good luck. I'm right behind you, covering your back. I'll catch up when it's time to deal with the queen. Yeah, and with that, folks, I guess we'll pick it up there next time. A good cliffhanger. Thank you for watching as usual, and have a good night. Bye-bye.